We've all been there, right? You're in a conversation, it's going fine, and then it just turns. You can feel that heat rising in your chest. Well, disagreements are just part of life, but how we handle them, that can change literally everything. So what if there was a simple but really powerful way to navigate those moments? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down.
So let's just get right to it. Think about it. When you're in a disagreement, what does winning even mean? Is it about being the loudest person in the room, getting the last word in, or just proving beyond a shadow of a doubt that the other person is wrong? Well, the answer might not be what you think. See, the real win isn't about fighting harder. It's about staying calm. It's not about one person winning the argument. It's about both people winning peace. And today, we're going to see exactly how to do that.
Okay, so first, let's talk about that feeling. You know the one I'm talking about, that flash of heat, that prickly feeling you get the second someone challenges you or says you're wrong. It's not just you, that's a totally human reaction. And you know, it doesn't really matter if it's a huge debate or some tiny little misunderstanding. Hearing something we don't agree with can set off this little emotional alarm. It feels like a tiny fire just lit up in your chest. And our first instinct, a lot of the time, it's to just pour gasoline all over it.
To see just how fast this fire can spread, let's look at a super simple story. It's about two friends, Sam and Joy, and a disagreement that probably sounds pretty familiar.
It all kicks off with just a different point of view. Sam is absolutely sure of what they saw. To them, it's not an opinion, it's a fact. The ball went out.
But Joy, she saw the complete opposite, and she's just as certain about her reality. And just like that, with two opposite views, you've got a standoff.
And here we go. This is the part we all recognize, right? The voices get a little louder, neither of them is really listening anymore, they're just broadcasting their own point. And suddenly, it's not even about the ball, it's about being right. You can almost feel that tension yourself. But then, something changes. Sam remembers a piece of advice, and this is the absolute pivot point of the whole story. Instead of leaning into that anger, the advice is to do the total opposite. Just stop, create a little space, and breathe.
Okay, so let's take that little piece of advice from the story and turn it into a real, practical toolkit that any of us can use the next time we feel that fire starting up.
And here it is. It's so simple, it's almost deceptive. First, take a deep breath. This isn't just to, relax. It actually tells your nervous system to get out of panic mode. Second, count to 5. This little pause is everything. It gives your logical brain a second to catch up with your emotional brain. And then third, use kind words. You're making a conscious choice to connect, not to fight.
And just look at the difference. The entire vibe shifts. The language goes from an accusation, you're wrong, to a collaboration. Maybe we saw it differently. That one little sentence completely changes the game. And this right here is the big aha moment. You've got to shift your goal. The objective is no longer to be the winner of the argument. The real win is preserving the connection. In the end, it didn't matter who was right about the ball. They both won something way more important: peace.
Now, it is so important to get this straight. This is not about being passive. It's not about just giving in. It's actually about tapping into a source of real strength. Honestly, staying calm is your strategic advantage. It's a superpower. I mean, just look at the difference here. That hot, fiery reaction, it literally makes your brain foggy. You can't think straight, and it just breaks the connection you have with that person. But a calm response, that's more like a warm glow. Your mind is clear, and it actually makes the connection between you two stronger. And there are real benefits happening inside you too. When you're not in that fight or flight mode, your brain is physically better at listening and processing what's going on. It's a fact. And that lets you think way more clearly and creatively to find a solution that works for everyone.
And this just sums it all up perfectly. Anybody can lose their temper. That takes zero skill. The real strength, the true wisdom, lies in having the self-control to hit pause, choose how you want to respond, and steer the conversation somewhere better.
So, as we bring this all home, let's boil it all down into one simple, memorable idea. It all comes back to the power of the pause, that tiny little bit of space between what happens to you and how you react to it. And here it is, the entire toolkit in 3 little icons. Just think of it like your new mantra: breathe, think, and then speak kindly. It's a sequence that can totally transform the outcome of pretty much any disagreement you'll ever have.
And that, right there, is the most powerful takeaway of all. Look, you can't control how other people are going to act. You just can't. But you always, always have control over your own response. That choice, to look for understanding instead of conflict, that always starts with you.